33 degrees of static loft, 20 degrees of delivered loft. That tells me where that shaft is. It's leaning forward, guys. Hey guys, just a quick note from us. We really appreciate all the support and all the well wishes we've had since we launched the Fraser Golf Institute channel. But the #1 way in which you can support us is by subscribing to the channel. Like the videos, comment in the videos, let the algorithms, let YouTube know that this is a channel that you're really enjoying. Currently, about 60% of the audience, the viewers on each video are not subscribers. It would mean the world to us if you subscribed to the channel and you liked and commented in the videos. It lets people know that Fraser Golf Institute is a channel that should be viewed on YouTube. That would help us out, and we guarantee we'll bring the best content that we possibly can to you guys. Enjoy today's video. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to tell you guys how to flush your irons. Those of you out there who really feel like iron distances are inconsistent, you really struggle in conditions like when it's windy, you just have inconsistent impact location on your club and with your low point on the ground. So today we're going to take a deep dive into that, and we're going to really help you flush these irons. This is a video, and I said it off camera to the boys a second ago, this might be my favorite video to shoot. Of all the videos that we do, I think helping people flush their irons is such a great sort of opportunity for us, or such a great privilege, because there's nothing better than standing there and you're hitting these irons and you just know they're fizzing off the club face. So we've got our page set up here on the launch monitor, and we've got a split screen. We've got on the right-hand side, we're going to be looking directly at the impact location of the iron. We know that if we're striking it in the middle of the club with a bit of forward shaft lean, we're going to be getting the right amount of ball speed relative to our club head speed, which is going to be huge. So let's start out with a 7-iron. We're just going to kind of hit a few and sort of get some baseline numbers. I won't really try to increase compression at this point. I'm just going to hit some nice neutral ones and use that as a base. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, we've got 7-iron here, 33 degrees of loft. I've picked out 9 tiles that I think are important for this particular video, where we can measure the club delivery in order to ensure that we're producing the right amount of compression, energy, smash factor, efficiency, whichever launch monitor you use, whichever term you want to use. We're all talking about the same thing, trying to get more ball speed for putting in however much club head speed we can consistently muster. Okay, so one place I want to start is I want to kind of identify the people I feel like we're talking to in this video. The people who are adding more dynamic loft to their golf swing, or maybe moving inefficiently from a biomechanics standpoint. So let's sort of look from a loft perspective at the people who add too much loft. So in the sort of setup position, the players to me that are going to really struggle with an inefficient amount of ball speed or sort of high dynamic loft are the players who add loft. So the left arm kind of rotates off the chest, the club face rotates wide open, and the top of the swing looks something like that. Then obviously on the way down, the compensation is to try and throw it out, and then they end up adding too much loft at impact. So let's kind of look at that from a measurement perspective, what that may look like. I'm trying to be consistent with the club head speed. We saw like 88, 86, something around that is kind of where we're looking at as my average. 111 miles an hour ball speed, smash factor at 126. Very inefficient, very certainly high in dynamic loft. And for a 7-iron, that's a poor return on energy. Okay, so we definitely want to be getting more than 153 yards. So let's look at the player who I feel like is maybe what we would call someone who has a reverse pivot, or who weight shifts incorrectly in their golf swing. So the other player I see that is a sort of poor iron striker is the player who moves left on their backswing and pivots backwards on the through swing. So we call that kind of reverse pivot. and they end up too shallow and dumping out the compression, the lag, the loft on the downswing itself. So let's kind of look at what the metrics on that might look like. So same thing, trying to be consistent with the club head speed, 88 again, 112, right? 128 smash factor. Again, we're still in the 150s when it comes to carry distance. Really inefficient for that amount of speed. That's a good amount of speed, as we'll see in a second, once we get sort of focused on that dynamic loft number, okay? So if we're going to eliminate those two things, if we're going to get that club face into a much stronger position on the way back, we don't see that left arm, that lead arm rotating off the chest and getting the club face working open. We're going to see the sort of lead arm and the center of the body be consistently, the distance between those two being really consistent. This is one I stole from Braden when we were with him up at TPC, is just with the thumb and sort of forefinger into your sternum and into your lead arm, into the sort of elbow inside of your lead arm, and just try and maintain that sort of position as you take it back into P1. Okay, club face is not toe up, it's slightly sort of pointing forward, and you've got that sort of relationship, and that's maintained as we go up to the top of the backswing. So that's one. And the other part to that is making sure that we do shift the weight to the trail side in the backswing. Okay, anyone who you admire when it comes to distance, guarantee they do that in abundance, right? There's guys out there in the Instagram world, guys like Drew Cooper, who have just the most gorgeous golf swings, and they make hitting the ball 350 yards just look as effortlessly as anyone can do. It's because they move and shift their weight, their pressure, their mass. They shift that efficiently. Anyone who's going into their lead side in the backswing and sort of popping out and falling into the back foot in the downswing and in the downswing inefficiently, so going lead side into trail side, that's the most inefficient use of your energy in the golf swing. So let's start to put this together to create a little bit more compression. I want that dynamic loft number to be, let's say for the example's sake, let's say 21, right? 25 was adding some loft. Even though we got the face a bit closed, we want to get it down about 21 or 22. I want to see that club head speed stay around 88. But for me, the average ball speed for a 7-iron for me is about 120, 121. So 112 is not going to cut it. So let's see what we can do. Face a bit open. Felt good off the face. It's going to peel to the right a little bit. All right, direction, we'll get that back on track in a second. I want to focus on the speed and the efficiency. We just picked up 12 miles an hour ball speed. It's exact same club head speed. That's what we're talking about compression, right? And face angle was open, centeredness of contact was on point. Dynamic loft is not 21 where I want it because the face was open. Remember, loft, you lose loft as you rotate the golf club. I would be pretty happy with most of what happened there, other than the fact I just left the face just a tad open. So all good. Let's kind of see if we can add on that. Not bad. 88. Okay, better. Add into the smash factor. We're staying consistent with the club head speed. We're at 179 carry. It was an okay strike. It was a slightly in the heel, but very much on the equator of the golf club. We're trying to be very focused. People talk about how I hit it in the toe, hit it in the heel. How about if you hit it high and low? There's a lot of energy to be lost if you're striking it, inefficiently or you're inaccurate with the vertical contact. So it's definitely not just about being sort of two toe and two heel. I'm pretty happy with kind of where that's living right now. Let's just keep the effort level the same. Let's just up the compression levels. Felt good. That one felt nice. I would say that's pretty close to ideal for me there. So attack angle got a little bit steeper. Launch angle came down a little bit. Spin actually went up a little bit, which was nice. Dynamic loft at 20. So we said at the start, 33 degrees of static loft, 20 degrees of delivered loft. That tells me where that shaft is. It's leaning forward, guys. That's where you're going to start to improve on your distance. Pound for pound, become a longer hitter. Club head speed's hard to come by. For me to get that club head speed up to 94, 95, I'm going to be working really, really hard. I've not had to work too hard there to pick up 25 yards. I think 153 was probably the first 7-iron that we hit. We're now at 178.7. I've picked up 20 to 25 yards in those first 2 swings pretty comfortably just by where I'm positioning the handle of this golf club, right? We're really looking to try and get that compression up, getting that handle forward and making sure we're moving efficiently to do it. I would say I've had one of the biggest breakthroughs this winter you'll probably see a little bit, those of you who follow the channel for a little bit, you probably see I'm doing something a little bit differently because one of those 2 factors with it, my club face never really gets too open, I'm okay there, but I do get a little bit that way and then end up falling back. That's why I always hit driver off the bottom of the club. So one of the things you'll see me do now is you'll see this little push into the left leg gets me sort of really pushing my mass out to the right-hand side, and then we're falling back to the left, and then we're pushing up, right? Trust me, that's for another video. We're excited to bring that one to you guys because, like I said, I feel like I've maybe made the biggest breakthrough in my golf swing that I've made in a number of years. It's got me hitting it much more solid. Club head speeds went up a little bit, but, for me to be 125 ball speed on a 7-iron when I'm kind of doing demonstration swings, I'm not really that focused on speed or distance. That's easy distance, and I want to give you guys the ability to create easy distance, okay? So recap one more time. We want to be de-loft in the golf club. We want to make sure we are shifting our pressure into our lead side. We're going to, for those of you who are not used to doing it, it's probably going to feel like you're kind of tilted as you come back. So you load the backswing. As you get to about halfway back, you'll shift the pressure. And then we've got all this weight stacked on here. We're going to push that. That's how we turn the corner with our body. Okay, we're not going to get there and then just release the arms. We're going to get there in the downswing. We're going to rotate, and that's going to open up the lower body. We're going to create that really nice sort of open, compressed handle forward. Really going to have that club, that ball coming out there compressed. We're going to see that smash factor up close to 140, definitely not in the 1.2s. We definitely want to avoid that. So, guys, I really think implementing, better weight shift, better club face management, trying to make sure that you're able to match the dynamic loft to whatever the appropriate number is for that club, it's going to help you guys an awful lot pick up some distance and hit your irons much more pure.